Okay, I'm going to get started on the Mannequin video series. I'm going to show you how to make one of these for your dolls. Let me come down so you can see it. If you want something plainer, I'm going to do a plainer one in the video. I just did this to see what it would look like with the shiny paint and the fancy fabric, but of course you don't have to do something like that. We're just going to do plain muslin in the video. Okay, so what are you going to need for supplies? First of all, you're going to need some kind of a base. I'm using cheap wooden candlesticks that I got at the Goodwill. They were the plain brown wooden ones that you've seen a million times. The only difference is I have painted them with a plain acrylic apple barrel paint, and then I put a finish on them so they wouldn't scratch. I just used the royal coat decoupage finish so they would stay nice and wouldn't scratch up. So then you're going to also need your inside dowel. This is your dowel rods. I bought this at Hancock. I forget what the price was. And these ones are made by, but you can get them anywhere. This one's made by Derico, and these were 5 pieces, and they're the 0.4375 inch by 12 inch dowel rods. Let's see if I can get a close up on that so you can see. Okay, then you're going to need the top to the rod for the top of your mannequin. You can do different items or put different things on top, but I'm going to use, for the video, I'm going to use these Dolphin Heads. These are the wood Dolphin Heads, and these are 0.625 inches. And the reason I'm using the bigger ones is because I'm going to have batting around the top of my dowel, and I'm going to have fabric around the top of my dowel. So then when I go to glue that in, that's going to take up all that slack in there, and I'm going to get a really nice tight fit on the top of the dowel. Okay, so we've got the dowels, we've got the inside, and then we're going to need some kind of base to put on the bottom of the mannequin. So according to the Do-It-Yourself Network, they're using poster board, which is fine to use if that's what you want to use. I'm going to use the floor tile. That's what I put in here underneath this mannequin. I put the floor tile goes inside the fabric with the stuffing, and then you just need a piece of cardboard like this on the outside, which your dowel will go through and into the top of your candlestick, so your mannequin is very sturdy. So I have a bunch of hot glue holding the stick in, and I've also got some beacon 527 going around the top of the candlestick for even more security. Now, you don't have to put any fringe on it. You can just go with some plain simple lace or some ribbon, but you're going to want to cover that attachment from between here and here, otherwise you're going to look at it. We'll see what it looks like without any fringe when we finish the one in muslin, and it might look all right, but otherwise you're going to want to have some kind of fringe. It could be something simple, it could be lace, it could be ribbon, it could be anything you want it to be, just to cover that connection. But you know, that's optional. It's another optional thing. So there's that. So the next thing we're going to need is the pattern. I'm going to give you a link to the pattern. Drop my coffee cup. I'm going to give you a link to the pattern. It's a do-it-yourself dish dress mannequin form, and the place you can get it is if you're looking for these, you can find it at it says find the step-by-step video instructions at www.doityourself.com, but I'll put it underneath the video so you can see it. You can also watch you can find a kit for one of these, but they don't put the dowels in the middle. But anyway, I'll give you all the instructions. So you're going to want to print out the pattern. It comes out in, I think it's 4 pages that you get all together. And this is the actual pattern. So as far as making adjustments to this pattern, the only thing I did is I came in 1/4 of an inch on each of the shoulders, and I extended the waistlines on all the pieces. The sides I left exactly the same, except I extended it right under the breast area down here. I just went straight down, and this is how I was able to get it to fit the Journey Girls. So same thing on the back piece. I came in about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch on each side, and then just came straight down. So you don't get that nice shape look. You get it, it's more up and down, just like this. Which, you know, it doesn't look that attractive as a pin cushion, but it technically is the same. I tried on some Journey Girls clothes on this one, and they fit perfect. So it is exactly the dimensions of the Journey Girls. So your American Girl's not far off of this one. You might be 1/2 an inch bigger all the way around, or up to 1 inch bigger all the way around, depending on which American Girl you have. But you can modify this pattern for any of the American Girls also. Okay, so that's that. We got the pattern. We've got our base for putting underneath. We've got our cardboard to cover that. We've got our batting, our candlestick, our dowel, and our head. And then we're going to need some fiberfill. So I'm using the polyester fiberfill from Walmart. It's 32 ounces. I think it was $8.97, but it's going to stuff, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 of these mannequins or even more. But it works the best. So we'll use that. You can use different batting or different fiberfill, but this one seems to work the best, and it will not bunch. So, okay, so that's it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Besides the fabric, I'm going to have to go find some muslin. I know I have a whole bunch of it. So we'll actually cut the pieces out, sew them together, and put this mannequin together. Okay, for the base of this mannequin, you're going to need some kind of a base. In the video on the do-it-yourselfers, they used poster board. I didn't. I used floor tile. And then the floor tile is underneath the last piece of cardboard on here that covers all of your tuck unders. I took the fabric, I tucked it under, and then I put the cardboard on top, and then I glued it inside the candle stand and on the outside with Beacon 527. But anyway, right now we're at the point where we're getting our 2 pieces together for the base. I'm going to use 2 pieces. I only used 1 on the first one, and I think I'll get a more sturdy, it'll stay together. There's very little resistance on here. My sister put together 2 pieces of poster board, so I'm going to use 2 pieces of the floor tile. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your dowel, the size dowel you're using, will go through both of the pieces at once. So what I did is I took my pattern, which in this case is this one right here. Oops, sorry, I shook my camera. And then you take your tile and then you draw it on the back of your piece of vinyl tile. Or even if you're going to use the poster board, it's pretty much done the same way. Actually, I should have cut that a different way so I could get 2. Now I can, well, I can barely get another one out of here. Yeah, I can get another one for another one. Okay, so let me go ahead and trace another one so I have this. This is for the Journey Girls, and it's pretty much the same size as the American Girls too. It might be a little off, but I'll give you the dimensions when we're done. So then take a pair of bad scissors or linoleum cutters, whatever you happen to be using, and cut out your 2 circles. If you're using poster board, you're going to do it the same exact way. You're just going to be cutting with the poster board, which is even harder to cut than this linoleum is. So let me get this I was at, when I was making the doll shoes with the floor tiles, I bought myself a lino cutters at, Hobby Lobby, right here. That helps get the center cut out, but if you don't have it, it's not a big deal if you don't. Because if you have some of these tools, even if you don't have a tool, maybe your husband could take his, or even you if you have a drill, and just drill the holes out of the center. Because all you want to do is get that center hole started, and then you'll be able to cut it out. So let's go ahead and take my regular hole punch and put the first hole in. Okay, so we've got a hole in the, okay. So you can either use your lino cutters, or you can, if you have it, this was, like I said, $4.99, and I had a 50% off or 40% off coupon, so it's just a starter set. It's really not designed for these heavy-duty tiles, but it does work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give myself a few cuts on here. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing in the video. Let me push this up a little bit so I don't go off the... I'm just going to give myself some cuts. If you've ever worked with tile before, you know that all it basically is really heavy cardboard, and then with a laminate finish on top. So once you've got them started, you can take some, these are just, oh gosh, what are they called? Wire cutters. Like I said, it doesn't matter how even this hole is, you just want it in the center so they'll both line up together. And then just start cutting them out. If you have to use a wire cutter, you can use one of those too. There's just all kinds of things you can use. Whatever tool works. You can even take a hammer and maybe a sharp screwdriver or something like that, and be able to get in here and get this hole out. You're never going to see it. It's going to be covered with fabric for one thing. Well, not really fabric. It might reach this hole, but I doubt it. It's going to be covered with the cardboard, and then it's going to be, you're not even going to see it because it's going to be on top of the candlestick. Okay, so just get that out of there. And like I said, you're going to want to get 2 of these. So see what I mean about that cardboard? All it is pressed cardboard. And you just want to get it big enough, whatever size dowel you're using, to get that hole in there. See if that's big enough. Nope, not quite. I'm going to do this fast for the video. Of course, you'll be taking your time when you do this. So just widen the hole. I feel like it's big enough. Okay. Very good. Okay. So because there is a little bend to this, we're going to put 2 on top of each other, and that way, make sure they line up. You won't get any bend at all, because we're going to put our piece of fabric on top of this. So like I said, I'm using the tile pieces. If you want to use the poster board, that's fine too, but like I say, you're probably going to want to double that up. Okay, so that is your vinyl, or your tiles, or your base of the mannequin.